this episode's going to be a bit of a 2-for-1. You'll see that I was out marshalling yesterday, and what I was doing at the race at RJ's was just watching all the racers and making sure that everyone was okay. It was actually a really fun day. I quite enjoyed doing that, and we'll get into that. But this is actually Monday now that I'm talking to you, and the footage we're about to get
approaching
into,
a railroad crossing.
But the footage we're about to get into is on Sunday, yesterday at RJ's XC. Anyway, just driving to work, and the daily updates are not going to be as exciting when it's a work day, but I thought I'd kind of reflect back on the weekend, talk a little bit about yesterday, and do the whole vlogging thing. So yesterday was a really nice day to get out and test the suspension, because as you'll see, I was able to really push it and see what that new kit is capable of, and it is unbelievable. Joe always does an amazing job, and I'm always extremely impressed with just the standard revalving and whatever he does in there. I mean, it's much more than a revalving, but this, with this new WP Explorer Pro kit, is phenomenal. I couldn't believe the speed I was going in control. Before I would always feel like I had to dial it back when you'd hit a certain speed. And I was looking at some of the footage in my video yesterday, and at one point, as I'm going down some whoops, I was hitting about 67, 69 kilometers an hour. You can see on the odometer, and it didn't feel that way. That's what was so crazy. So it's really nice to know that going into Erzberg, that I'm going to be able to be on those roads at such high speed, especially if I stiffen it up and feel in control. And that's really what it's about, because the bikes are quite capable, as everyone knows, of going extremely fast. It's just at some point you feel out of control and you have to dial it back. So yesterday was great for that. You'll see some footage. I had a great time. It's really nice to see everyone out there, and it was also really nice to see how supportive people are. Approaching a
railroad crossing.
Yeah, I know. I see it. So it was really nice to see how supportive the off-road community is. Running into all my friends, and even a lot of the pros, and people that I really look up to in the riding scene, coming up and talking to me about it and offering tips. And that to me is the value you get from that is worth a lot. And kind of brings me on another topic that I thought I would discuss today as kind of a takeaway of this episode, and that's the idea of just, as I say, just showing up. And to unpack that a little bit, what I think that means is two things. Just keep going, no matter what it is. You don't have to always win. You don't have to be performing in a way that you're hitting the podium all the time. But if you're showing up and trying things with not just an acceptance, but almost an embracing of failure, then you can achieve so much. And Erzberg is a good example of that, because I signed up, I didn't even feel that I could qualify for the race. Not to say that I will. I'm not offering any guarantees on that by any stretch. But as you do these things, as you sign up, the universe just kind of has a way of aligning things for you, and you become more and more confident. You get more people offering tips on how to do certain things. You motivate yourself to do a little bit more. And if you can take one step at a time towards a goal, even if you're going to get kicked back 3 or 4 steps every once in a while, it really doesn't matter, because you're going to get there. It doesn't matter how fast you go, as long as you keep moving. And there's a lot of things over the past couple of years in the race season, and I suppose in my life in general, but I'll use the race season as an example, is that you have to be willing to accept that, get into it. You know, joining the vet expert team as an example, not for a moment did I think I would be hitting podiums, and still to this day it's very much a big question mark whether I'll even get top 5 when I'm racing. But as you get out there and you put yourself out there and you put yourself within peers in the scene, then you become better and better, because even the average is exceptionally good. So I'm saying this because if there's anyone out there thinking, oh well, I shouldn't be upping a class, I shouldn't be trying this because it's outside of my abilities. No, it's not. It's just a question of how much time and how much failure you're willing to allot yourself to get there. Because if you're willing to allow yourself time and a lot of points of disappointment and failure, then you will get there. Whether it's Erzberg, whether it's trying to promote yourself in a class, but you just have to have the courage to say, I'm willing to put myself out there. And I think one of the biggest concerns people have is, what will other people think? Let me break the news to you. People don't care. They really don't care. You care, but no one else cares whether you get 3rd or 4th or 1st or 10th or you don't finish. It's I think like the saying in Talladega Nights, right? Where Ricky Bobby's like, if you're not first, you're last. And that's so internal. And you can see it in the scene because his dad's like, I said, what? I must have been high on peyote at the time. Doesn't even make sense. There's all sorts of places. There's 2nd, there's 3rd, there's 4th. But we get caught up in these spiralings where, if we're not first, we're last, so therefore I can't try it. I couldn't possibly race this race. I couldn't do this because I'm so concerned about failure or what other people think. No one cares. Everyone's high on peyote at the time. No one cares. So put yourself out there, and then when people start to care is when you get to that point where you feel it's even normal, where the average is just like, well, I'm coasting by in something I'm trying. And then you get noticed. You don't get noticed by jumping in and failing. So Erzberg, right? Like, no one's looking at me thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to Erzberg and good luck, I hope you get top 10, I hope you beat out Jarvis this time. No one thinks that. I hope not. I certainly don't. But what people do start to think is, wow, that's cool, I'd like to do that someday. Just go and watching it, whatever. So don't be afraid. And whether it's racing or other things in your life, I'll give you another example. This Friday, I actually have an interview. For those of you who don't know, I'm a criminal defense lawyer by trade. That's where I'm going right now. I'm going to court. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So I'm 45 now. Practice in sort of the greater Toronto area, doing criminal defense work, everything from theft to first-degree murder. And anyway, the point of my story is this. You see so many lawyers so concerned about the same thing racers are concerned, of putting themselves out there and feeling exposed and feeling like they're going to fail. And so they don't want to take on big cases. They don't want to hire people. They don't want to grow their business. They don't want to do anything that might tarnish their reputation. And again, no one cares, the best example, and this is what I was going to talk about, is this Friday coming up. I have an interview to become a judge. And I'm saying that because I want to point out, not, wow, that's cool, why are you saying that? I'm pointing out because I've had quite a few interviews and quite a few rejections to this point in time to say, no thanks, we'll point somebody else. I've had pending applications for years now. I've been interviewed, I've gotten pretty far in the process, and for whatever reason, it didn't happen, and that's fine. But you can't let that kick you down to the point that I'll never apply again, or I'll never get on a bike again, right? To use the race analogy, or I hate racing now because I didn't place in the top 3. It's ridiculous. And just keep doing it. And if Friday things go well, who knows, maybe I will get appointed, and maybe I won't. And it really doesn't matter. And I don't understand why people, well, I do, I think I understand why, but what I'm saying is, you can't feel so caught up in the idea of what other people think, because progress isn't about immediate success. It's about one step at a time, seeing what's not the objective in the sense of the goal and thinking I have to be there now, but just taking that one step at a time in getting there. And it may vary, it may weave, you may go the wrong way, you may get back, you may even get ridiculed. I think that's pretty rare, but anyone who is going to succeed in life, whether it's racing or in their career or anything, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, and I think the more honest you are about that, the more you're going to get to those objectives. So, long way of saying, I'm super excited about Erzberg. I can't believe that I'm leaving in a very short period of time. 1 week tomorrow I'll be flying out, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And I really appreciate everyone watching this, and I'll try and keep these updates coming, these sort of slices and insights that I'm thinking of and ruminating on as I lead up to it. And I guess today's episode is a good example of what Erzberg, and I use that metaphorically, like what an event like this triggers in your mind to think about and sort of reflect upon in life. There's a lot of reflections, and hopefully through these vlogs I'll get a few of them, because it really brings your, I guess, your perspective to its heightened senses, and it really amplifies things that maybe you just don't think about too much on the day-to-day. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the footage today, of yesterday, of what's going on at RJ's, and congratulations to everyone. Ryder Heacock for the win overall, and Ty Fazzi, I got second, Carl Naumann third overall in the pro class, and congratulations to Matt Nayrand, who's running the Big Iron Moto logo on the side of his bike. Did really well, battled his way up from 8th to 5th in pro, 5th overall. Incredible young rider, doing great. Congratulations to my buddy Dane who just bumped himself up to the expert class and managed to podium in 3rd. Just a great day to see that. Great to see kids out there riding, all the friendly faces, and yeah, it's what makes this sport special. And I'll see you all soon, and I'll bring you all to Erzberg with me. So day 2 of this Erzberg vlog, and right now I'm at RJ's Motorsports in North of Barrie. And today's a race with OffRoad Ontario, and I'm not racing, so I like to do the XC series for OffRoad Ontario. Did it last year, and I did the last race at Gopher Dunes, but because we're so close to Erzberg, we're only less than 2 weeks out from leaving. I want to make sure that I don't injure myself, and I didn't think it would be wise to get out there and start racing. So what I'm doing today is, as you can see by the vest, I'm marshalling and just watching out, making sure everyone's okay. Right now I'm a spotter for a big jump, and I'm about to watch the morning class, which is all the non-experts, so Vet A, B, C, novice, things like that are racing. They should be around soon. I think I hear them coming out to the track now, so I'll probably get some good footage of some people flying around. And yeah, so it's a day of watching and trying to stay uninjured. is the objective today. Staying uninjured, but still having some fun. I also managed to watch my kids who race in the 9 o'clock race in the Mini A and Mini B, and they did well. So now I'm going to stick around for the afternoon and watch a bunch of riders. Matt Mayran, who's running the Big Iron Moto logo on his bike. Really happy to have him as part of the team of sorts, and he's going to be here, I hope, pulling in a podium today. He did really well last time around. The FMSQ guys were out Gopher Dunes, but they have a race this weekend, so they won't be here. So I think Matt's chances are very good. We'll see how that goes, but yeah. Sweeping the whole race. Part of me is women's pro. Trying to make sure everyone's okay. This is the afternoon race here, 1 o'clock.